Okay, this video is to discuss what I call the analysis prompt of the AP language exam. Um, and the video kind of focuses around, wait a minute, what is it do I do? What do I do again? So the analysis prompt is where you're asked to do rhetorical analysis, almost always associated with the writer's purpose. So recently, we looked at a one of our sample essays in the virtual class was about a Mark Twain piece, and you had to analyze what rhetorical strategies he used to achieve his purpose, which was some point about patriotism. And it was a tough prompt because it was hard to determine what he was trying to say about patriotism. And my advice to many of you during the DBAs was be specific. Make sure that you just don't say Twain's metaphors and syntax contribute to his message about patriotism. You have to share what that message is. So that's my point right here about be specific in terms of making this point about the author's purpose. I want to encourage you to always use uh, adjectives before each rhetorical strategy and any aspect of the rhetorical triangle. So if in your thesis you're talking about particular rhetorical strategies, don't just say metaphors, put an adjective in front of it that gives it some kind of description that starts that analysis that the College Board is looking for. I encourage you to always describe the speaker in an introduction. Always use your analysis of the speaker to contribute to the point you're making about how this work functions. Make sure that you answer the hidden question in the prompt. We've talked a lot this semester about how the prompts can be tricky. So look for that hidden question. It's usually rewarded if you can be clever or witty or colorful in your grabber. Recast whatever the point is in your own language is a really good way to do it. So if you had a way to say what Twain had to say about patriotism, but in your own language, that's a really effective grabber because it demonstrates both your understanding of the author's purpose and you get to display some of your writing skills. You should organize the essay around rhetorical strategies. Don't go through the piece chronologically, but instead organize your essay by the strategies that you've observed. So the topic sentence will be a rhetorical device, and then you'll have some text. Don't overquote, weave the text into your analysis of it, and analysis should answer these questions. How is the text effective? Why is it effective? What about the audience makes it effective? What about the time period makes it effective? What about the speaker makes it effective? So connecting this text to the rhetorical advice and then taking that next step, pushing your analysis. Do not summarize except if you're summarizing from your own perspective. So don't repeat just what the text says, but rather you can summarize your conclusion, the conclusion itself. Try to relate the argument to current times or life. Don't just repeat what you already said about the rhetorical strategies. You can celebrating the effectiveness of the text is often good. Don't over celebrate, which would be hyperbole, but rather discuss why the text is good and the message still resonates. Stylistically, so the style of your writing, you want to be descriptive, colorful, and rich. You should have varied sentences. Avoid weak verbs and cliches. Really try to think about your to be verbs. I know that's hard in a time setting, but being thoughtful about your verbs will develop a more witty and clever style and a more concise style, which is what the test is looking for. So this is just a short review, and if you have any questions about this, I expect you to bring them up in the DBA.